Hello, so today's video is going to be about how the installation of the Xampp goes. Xampp is actually a platform for web developers uh, to get their systems, their website, and check it if they are working properly before deploying or making it live on a live server. And in most cases around the world, they deploy it into a physical server of a particular organization, so they can only use it in-house and not worldwide. So the first we need to make sure that it is working in our system completely correctly, and then we install it into the client's server or global, depending on what the requirement is. So basically there are a couple of ways to do it. We can either use Linux or Windows. We're gonna use the Windows today, and for that we can use either WAMP or Xampp. So we go with the Xampp installation today, and I will show you how to properly install the Xampp program onto your Windows machine, and how to get your code or your website's data inside properly and get it working. Now, a few things that you need to know: that this is a Windows 64-bit Xampp setup, and I have a dummy code with me that is going to make sure that our website is actually working correctly. And the other thing that we need to know, that while we complete our setup over here, we might need to access this particular machine which is acting as a server right now. We might need to use it for accessing through a different machine. It can be a mobile phone, it can be a tablet, other laptop, another machine, but it has to be on the same network. So for that we will need to disable the firewall, which I will show you what to do. So over here we will be proceeding with the installation of this Xampp program. So I'm gonna do it again. So we're gonna select yes over here. We're gonna disallow few services that we do not need, uh, moving forward for our web development. So we're gonna select MySQL and uncheck the rest of the things. We need my PHP MyAdmin, and we're gonna select rest of the things. We're gonna select next. We're gonna select next, and it will install in your C drive. The best practice is to make sure that this is installed in the C drive instead of any other the drive, because it is primary set up to be in the C drive. Otherwise you have to give the path of the drive it has given each and every time. So the settings by default for Xampp is set for C drive. So while this is installing, I'm going to show you what I meant about the firewall. So just suppose that I'm trying to access this particular machine through its IP address. To get the IP address, you can get it with this particular command, ipconfig, and you will see that IP address for this computer is 192.168.100.10. So I can access it from my end on this machine because it is my own machine. But if someone is trying to access this from their machine, they will be having some problems because of the firewall, as this is also called a local host for those who do not understand. So if I put in localhost in there, it is gonna keep spinning and spinning and spinning, says refuse to connect, because no web application is installed on this as of now, but it's soon gonna change because I'm going to install this complete uh, Xampp onto this machine. So while we do it, I'll show you how to disable the firewall that I told you have to do. You need to go to the control panel, go to Windows Defender. Let me do that again. Control panel, and go to Windows Defender firewall. Turn Windows Defender firewall off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Press OK. It will give you a warning. Just let it go. Turn it off, and it's on. Now this will take a little while to complete. So in the meantime, while it is completing, I'm gonna tell you that this is a dummy code that I have copied. It says, "Hi, this is my first PHP page. Hello world word." So I'm gonna copy this text onto the file, the our index file. I'm gonna get what is an index file. I'm gonna get to it in a while. So it is gonna go to the index file, and if we have properly installed our Xampp onto the machine, it will say yes. When we load it on the browser, it will say my first PHP page hello world. So this is how we will verify that if we have kind of copied or installed the Xampp setup properly. So it's going to take a little while this completes. So in the meantime, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to resume when this switch is here or once this is completed, and we can take it from there. So stay with me over here. Okay, so as you can see, it is about to complete. So it's gonna pop up with an option for the Xampp control panel. Over there we will have to make sure that we have couple of services always enabled. If they are not enabled, we will not be able to use Xampp properly, because one is in Apache, other is called MySQL services. So we need to make sure those are correctly installed and always active. It has finished, so I'm going to open it up. This yellow icon over here is going to be representing our control panel. So just waiting for that to come up. Control panel, Xampp, control panel, control panel. Okay, now over here you can see Apache and MySQL are turned off, so you have to start both of them, and once these two turn green, it means you have done it correctly. Now I'm gonna copy this dummy code and I'm gonna go to the Xampp folder, C drive, Xampp. I'm gonna go to htdocs folder. So any website or any system that you create, it has to be coming on to the htdocs folder. So I'm gonna make a test folder over here because it is gonna be a test. So we're gonna test it, and I'm gonna press that paste that dummy file over here. I'm gonna edit it with Notepad++ because we need to give it an extension of PHP file. So all I'm going to do is going to do file, save as, and save this as PHP hyper perform processor file. So just save it over here and done. Now to check if it's properly installed, we will have to go to localhost, and then we press OK over here. It will give us a Xampp page which is saying that we have Apache, MariaDB, which is the MySQL, PHP, and Perl installed. Now to check if we have properly copied the test folder into it, we have to select test and then press enter. Now over here, the reason for this dummy code, it has to be named as index. So index is basically a file, like if you guys have ever installed any video game or any software or any particular application on your machine or your laptop or device, you will get a shortcut icon that is basically an execution file of that particular game or anything. So index is the similar thing when it comes to web development. So anytime your machine opens a particular website, it automatically executes the index file. Either it's in PHP, HTML, doesn't really matter. The index file will act as an execution of that particular website or the application. So once I press enter over here, it should show me hello world, and this is my first PHP page. So which means we have installed Xampp, Apache, and MySQL services properly. When I press enter, like I told you, it says my first PHP page hello world. So this means it is correct. Now to check if it is actually correct or not, I can open it in Notepad again, and I can replace hello world from here as I am testing my code, and simply I will save it. Control S, close it, go back to my browser. Now refresh this. Now it will says hello world over here. Now I added a first line to it. It will say I am testing my code. So this is how we can make sure that we have correctly installed Xampp to our machine. Hope you liked the video, and if you like it, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You have a wonderful day ahead. Take care. Goodbye.